Welcome back, everybody. If you're going, Johnny, you look terrible. Your hair's not done. You got 5 o'clock shadow. I'm a little stressed out, so I'll move to Arizona, and work's just been crazy. Not getting a whole lot of sleep, but I'm still making a video for you. And I think he's going senile. He's looking at his wrist. Doesn't even have a watch. 9 or so.
What chance does a privateer have?
Welcome to Supercross.
What do you say to a factory ride?
Excuse me. Anyway, there's a lot of dirt going on, a lot of political drama, and that's racing. If you know anything of what I've expressed on my channel, it's all the political just jargon floating around in racing. Big corporations versus the little guy, the privateer. Guy that's like, please, give me a factory ride, please, please, please. And then the other guy, no, no. All right, maybe it doesn't quite go that way, but I think the 250 class was pretty much where all the drama was, at least this last weekend, because they had the East-West shootout, so points were mixed between both groups. You know, the heat races where they're each sanctioned, and then together it was all going down. We know what happened with Faulkner. Dude, just unfortunately he had to lay it all on the line, or else he wasn't going to beat Dylan. Fernandez. You know, we give the French people a whole lot of for not being able to speak, and then you guys got full-blown Americans like myself that do a piss poor job of speaking English anyway. Do I blame it on my school system, public system, or maybe my parents taking me out of school to go riding, and then the concussions? And you know, there's no way to really pinpoint what my problem is, but I think we need to give all the French people a little bit of a break here. And thank God there's nobody in the stands, because there's no booing going on for Dylan. Actually, I like Dylan. You've got riders like Stefan Roncada and David Villeman, you know, I think are a little bit more on the more aggressive, meaner Frenchman. And then you got guys like Marvin that's at the top, the goody two-shoes, the Ryan Dungey of being French per se. And then below him you probably have like Christophe Purcell. And I think Dylan sort of falls right in the middle, you know? So you got stuff to hate about him, and you also got stuff to love about him. But keep in mind, Faulkner was pushing him around last few rounds, but Dylan was on probation, and he didn't want to give away the title, so he had to behave and kind of let it happen. I'm sure he wasn't happy about it, and I'm sure his trainer, David Villeman, wasn't happy about it either. Him and I actually, we never got into it, but I did see him talking some shit about me on the internet, so it's kind of cool. I feel some of my idols talking about Johnny Hopper. Nobody Johnny Hopper. Anyway, it was kind of cool. He went as far as to kind of start some drama, saying that Mitch Payton and Factor Kawasaki had team orders to take out Dylan. Kind of going, seriously? Absolutely do I think that they had team orders to help out Faulkner. I don't think it was quite to take him out. And, you know, McAdoo sort of in the heat race made Dylan go to the LCQ, but there was a rider in between. So I don't really think that holds a whole lot of clout to use that particular incident as team orders. When we talk about team orders, I would have to say it was with the Geico Honda guys letting by Chase. You know, Jet Lawrence is out front, can win his first race. He lets Chase by. I think that's team orders. Faulkner kind of threw it away like he did last year with his ACL injury, kind of doubled. Well, it was sort of a potential, maybe a big double. I'd have to look back at the footage, but sort of jump across the start and he landed face first into a landing and up his knee. The dude needs to figure it out. Do I think he made a lot of enemies this year? I did. He was pushing the wrong people with the Lawrence brothers, and you have your beef with Dylan, don't make more beef with other riders. So then on the East Coast, we had Shane and Sexton kind of going at it. And at the end of it, I personally thought it was awesome to see Sexton back off and let Shane by. I was thinking, man, dude, this guy's smarter beyond his years. He doesn't want to get taken out and cleaned out by Shane to get on the ground to have, you know, McElrath win the championship. So he let him by, but then he ended up passing him back and running away from him. So I don't know if that was strategy or what he was thinking. I think it would have been cool, but he still won the race, so there's a statement being made right there. Shane and his team with the Star Racing Yamaha, they decided to protest Geico Honda for fuel. And if we want to just talk about how political this sport is, what does Geico Honda do? Geico Honda gets to test their own fuel and then gets to release their own findings. How does that not sound a little fishy to me? Was Star Racing Yamaha, were they potentially using bad fuel too, or too good of fuel? Probably. They could have just went tit for tat. Well, you're protesting me, well, I'm going to protest you. That's what we're going to do. You're cheating. Well, I know you're cheating. So, I don't know. The whole sport is so small and it's controlled by a few corporations. Feld, Racer X, so MX Sports, you know, these guys. And speaking of Racer X posts that they just love Tomac. They just absolutely love Tomac, that he's fighting the status quo of being locked away in Cortez, Colorado. You know, leaves his life out of it. Nobody really even knows that he had a girlfriend, let alone had a girlfriend get pregnant. You just don't know about his life. Now that he won the championship, because you're on the good side of the media. But before it was, Tomac, his head's just not right. He needs to move to California, get in the mix of everything. He's just doing it wrong. I don't get these guys. But again, should I call Racer X CNN? Should I? That was a good one. I might have to quote that one. That I'm pretty happy with. My conclusion is I just think the system is broken, which sucks. And Tomac, the dude absolutely deserves to win the championship. Obviously, he was the fastest guy. He has the most wins of everybody. And if it wasn't a big enough statement for the last round, round 16, when he comes from last to second. I know Ralph Sheen said he went from 12th to second, but no, if you watch the footage, he was pretty much last around the first corner. And first lap went from last to 12th, and then from lap 2 to 27 or 26 went to second, and almost still won the race. Was right behind, you know, Superstar, Wednesday Nighter, Cooper Webb, and that spoke volumes to me. I just got up in my seat, you know, kind of took a little. I don't wear a hat, but if I had a hat, I'd take the hat off, you know, cowboy hat because it's Tomac. Maybe have a little bit of grass sitting here. You did it, sir. You deserve it. You won me, but it's that race. It's done now. You are the world's greatest Supercross rider. What are you gonna do now? Okay, bad impression. If you guys agree with me, you know, let me know in the comments below. Then in the main event was weird. I mean, mystery man, Roczen, this was his race to lose. And then he ends up falling down. Webb gets a crap-eaten start. And we've got the 3 Huskies out front, which being a Husky guy, I'm like, oh, this is sweet. And it was awesome to see Wilson win his first race. The dude wanted to retire earlier this year because of his gnarly crash. And Anderson, it's been since 2018 since he's won. And then you've got Osborne, the 30-year-old that decides to buy the baker's factory and turns his whole career around. You know, a few years ago, he wasn't that good of a 250 rider, goes overseas, doesn't do that well in MXGPs, comes back here, all of a sudden starts kicking ass, and then in the 450 class, dude, this dude's like one of the best prospects in the 450 class. I know I'm saying prospect, but I think he's the new underdog for 2021. Guy finished pretty much leading a bunch of laps, wins the last race. I mean, he had a seat, which was helpful, but he maybe could ride better without the seat because of how short Zach Osborne is. And it really sucked to see Anderson lose because of his seat. Kind of a taller rider, loses his seat. I'd be mad at my mechanics because of that, because that's like $100,000 bonus, if not 250, to win that. So, and it lit a big fire under Wilson's butt that I was thinking he was going to retire after this, but who knows? Having that good of a ride, finishing third, I'd give it another year. I'm sure he's going to probably try to give it another year because he just needs some good results after good results after good results, and you're going to keep that fire going. And the last thing I want to talk about, I might make a whole video on Chad because Chad has been a very influential rider to myself, and the internet has just been flooded for this guy. The guy is a legend for being as old as he is. His record's probably never going to be broken. He's over 200 of main events. You know, you're thinking 17 races a year. Dude, over a decade makes every race, every main event. That speaks volume, that this guy can ride at 60% and make main events. You know, maybe not 60%, but 80%, so he's safe and can make main events and do well. And he finishes with his best finish of the season, getting inside a top 10. And then damn near dude starts crying on the podium.
What's your feelings right now if this is the last one?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to put it into feelings. The whole last couple of days has just been steamrolling, you know, like when you start getting text messages and social media stuff, it starts to hit home. And when you start off a day where the track's muddy and nasty, this may be the last one.
And I just felt like it didn't do him justice. Not having the crowd in Vegas cheering for him, because he would have made that whole stadium just would erupt. And I think if there's anybody that, I mean, dude, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Just, if anyone deserved the honor of leaving the sport with the packed crowd, it wouldn't have been about Tomac. Yeah, Tomac won the championship, but everyone seeing Chad speak and saying farewell, that would have been the price of admission right there. And I hope the guy comes back and maybe does something in Anaheim 1, because him leaving in an empty stadium, it just didn't seem right. It didn't give me warm fuzzies. It just felt like he got gypped, and I'm not happy about it. Anyway, I know it was quick, but I'm tired, and I make like maybe 10 bucks from these videos, so I'm not doing it for the money. I just like criticism, apparently. So yeah, I'm done. That's it. Cool, bro. Yeah.